Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Beekeeper Tarot. My name is Alan. I slept and I am awake. And I've got a coffee going here as well, so all is good. I'm working this afternoon, and the next 2 days is going to be a bit of a heavy schedule, so I thought I would come on now. Well, I'm fresh and ready. Well, as fresh as you get when you're an old man like me. Pseudo fresh. Anyway, um, yeah, so I just want to say thank you once again to everybody that has subscribed and watches my videos and comments and laughs and giggles and puts up with my Aussie accent and the plants and the bees and everything else. As I said last night, I have new bees coming, and the bees will come with a queen bee. So, as you know, my queen bee will always be called Lena because we love Lena. So we always love Lena. You want a sassy queen bee that's just gonna do the thing, just gonna get out there and be a queen, from a queen to a queen. But anyway, I keep telling myself I'm going to be good when I do my videos, and it all falls out the window. However, it's the coffee. Yeah, so lots going on. I thought, like I said, from next Monday, it looks like I've got Mondays off, which is good. So I actually have some me time, which is good. I like my Allen time. I need it. Anyway. Now, I do have to say that I have missed a lot of the news cycle because I've just been so crazy doing these shifts. And like I said, last week and this week I'm doing 58 hours. So that's a lot. Includes a couple of sleepover shifts. So um, the sleepover shifts, they start at 4, you work to 10, you sleep till 6, and then you work to 8 in the morning. So they're long shifts. Anyway, I got two coming up, one starting today and one tomorrow night as well. So I'll be a bit, I feel a bit embattled tomorrow, so best I do this now. Speaking about feeling embattled, yeah, actually, before I go there, so hopefully the bees will be coming soon. I'm really looking forward to them. Like I said, I'm arriving. And like I said yesterday, I've noticed that there's just not many bees around, you know. It's springtime now in Australia. Lots of flowers blooming. I live in a relatively green area, lots of trees, and I live near a park. Yeah, and there's just not, I just don't see many bees. So, and like I said, they are doing it tough. Um, and my thing is, just doing whatever I can do to help them because, right now they need some help. They need a lot of help and lots of diseases. And we can start talking about that now that I'll have them back soon. And yeah, we can start talking about bee habitats and throw something else into this channel back into the bees. And some bee videos and stuff, and just trying to get away from this insanity that is relentless, that is just so toxic, and I don't see it ending anytime soon. But as I've always said, my feelings are it's just transitional, and I think in years to come, we're going to look back on this, and we're just going to say, what the F happened? What was that about? I remember when my housemate's father died. That was a couple of years ago. Now he's a Maltese guy, Maltese. So all of Malta were just ringing up, and they're ringing up, wanting to know this and wanting to know that. And these are the days before we had the mobile phone. And I just got really fed up with being woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning because they didn't know how to work out the time difference between Malta and Australia. So I thought, bugger it. So I just took the phone off the hook. I said, you know what? I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Leave us alone. He's gone. What do you want to know? We can't bring him back. He's gone. We need to sleep. So be gone. So uh, so my housemate said to me a few times, "Oh, gee, we got some sleep last night. The phone didn't ring." And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I had something to do with that. We slept. Anyway, I digress. So let's get into some mud. And then I think what we'll do is we'll do a reading for us at the end of this because yeah, this is so basically kick off. So the government, the US government is on the brink of a shutdown again. Happens every year, right about this time. I don't get it. I don't get it. But what I do think is, and especially now I've got to get this right. I think her name is, now forgive me if I get this wrong, okay? Aussie, Aussie, and also YouTube entertainment only, entertainment only. Yeah, Aussie tarot reader, entertainment only YouTube. So apparently, there was a new Democrat in Arizona. Her name was Adelita Gri Grivalia or Grivala, something like that. I apologize if I've got the name wrong. Now, she would have made the 218th signature on the discharge petition that would force another vote. Um, and apparently she won in a landslide. Now, when she signs that petition, she'll become the 218th position. Sorry, signature on the petition, I'm sorry, which means that will force a vote um, if they should release the Epstein files. Now, Mega Mike Johnson is asking for the official results, but apparently it was a landslide. So I'm assuming that a landslide means that she won by a lot. Landslide, a lot. Stevie Nicks song. Anyway, and JD Vance is blowing his horn, blaming the Dems. So yeah, it's just ongoing. So I just want to have a bit of a look at that. And there's been some new information released by the Oversight Committee regarding the Epstein files. Allegedly, YouTube, allegedly, allegedly, um, that people like Prince Andrew and Elon Musk is potentially on or in the files. I was watching something this morning. The two girls I've had it were talking about this, and apparently Musk got back and said, you know, what a load of rubbish and crap, and how dare you accuse me, and blah blah blah. Oh, but Prince Andrew was on the plane. He was there. He was on the island or whatever he had said. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how would you know if you went there? How would you know? If you had nothing to do with it, how would you know, sir? Do you have it? Is he a tarot reader? Allegedly, YouTube. So let's dive in, guys. Let's dive in. And then what we'll do to finish this off is we will have a reading for us. Okay, I'm just going to grab some cards, okay? Be back in 2 seconds. So, first cap off the rank. Will the US government shut down? Will the US spirit government shut down? Will the US government shut down? Will, pardon me, folks, the US government shut down? All right, guys, let's do this. Okay. Okay. Nine of Swords, Knight of Swords, the Fool, Tower, Two of Cups. That would be a yes, guys. I'm sorry to say. We'll keep going. Okay. Yeah, okay. So the first card is the Nine of Swords. So yeah, obviously this is causing a lot of sleepless nights for people, and People are very worried about this, and they have every right to be worried about this. There is a like a blanket of comfort there, but it's like little comfort right now. Um, just in a hard old bed trying to sleep. People are very worried about the fact that they're losing their jobs. They will be losing their jobs, or at least they won't be required to work. But I'll get to that in the next reading. But clearly, a lot of distress and a lot of mental anguish. Yeah, it's going to be a very, 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 very foolish thing to do to move forward and just do this shutdown. It's just an act of stupidity. Um, I think this is really the GOP with their announcement saying we're going to close the government, and they're just firing ahead with this. And I do even think behind the scenes there's a lot of how can I say this? It's a night. This is a really impulsive night. Um, oh, he's like hot air, you know. This is like the ultimate, like the person that's not thinking, a young person. But I do think that there's a lot of hot air behind the scenes with regards to this, and there'd be a lot of emails and a lot of communications going on, you know, a lot of arguing going on and banter, and we're going to move forward with this and shut this down, which is, like I said, it's very, very foolish, but it's a tower moment, you know. So I do think that that it's going to be like I mean it's the tower is like a very sudden thing, you know, and it but literally, you know, when everything isn't built on a good foundation, the tower will fall. And I do think when we get to the very end of when we get through all this rubbish, um, I think part of the healing part of America, of the USA, would just to be, you know, plug these holes in the Constitution where all this rubbish is allowed to happen. You know, like reword things and maybe even write a new constitution. I don't know, but it's this is not looking good. Um, and what's interesting as well, there's all the hidden agendas behind here. This is at the base of the deck with the High Priestess and the wheeling and dealing. So this is the GOP with all the hidden agendas and probably allegedly YouTube and for entertainment only. The Yeti just saying, "Oh, listen, you know, we've got to shut this down because you know, with the High Priestess, right? See how there's a see how there's a curtain there? You can see that there's water. There's something behind there." And often with the High Priestess, I mean, it is a complicated card, right? But you know, what are they trying to hide? There's a veil upright. There's a veil here, and they are definitely trying to hide something. They are definitely trying to hide something. Let's actually have a look into that. Let's have a bit of a deep dive. I'm just going to keep this here, and I'm going to ask Spirit, what are they trying to hide? 2 seconds, guys. The Spirit, what is this secret agenda all about? All about. I'm just thinking they're wanting to hide something. So, okay, Spirit, I'm just going to leave it to you. Tell me about this High Priestess with regards to the shutdown. About, going to put down 3 cards, Spirit. Priestess, tell me about the High Priestess. Tell me about Spirit, the High Priestess. All right, guys, come on down. Okay, folks, so I've got the High Priestess there. Ace of Cups. Page of Wands. The Moon. Oh, okay. And walking away. All right, come on up, guys. So, yeah, just doing a bit of a deep dive, folks, into, let me just adjust this. Sorry, guys. Doing a bit of a deep dive into the High Priestess, right? Now, remember how I said a few minutes ago that there's water here? Well, there's water here too. The Ace of Cups. So they are worried about an overflowing of emotion. I do think this is regards to the Epstein files. If it's released, um, the floodgates will be open, and there'll be like it's a new big it's well yeah it's just it's just like in a way like a cup of abomination in a way, but there's a lot of stuff in these files that need to come out, that are just wanting to come out, this water energy, raw emotion, and they're just trying to keep this cup on. They're trying to keep the lid on the cup, you know. Well, if these files are released, look out, you know. Um, and with the moon, it's like there's just this murkiness here. That you know, if you look at this crustacean here, that represents like the worst in people and the worst in energy coming up from the bottom of the swamp, right? They're trying to avoid that. They are literally howling at the moon right now. They are literally howling at the moon, trying to avoid this from coming up. Just keep everything behind the veil. Keep everything behind the veil. And so they're just going to have their announcements to say, oh, you know, blame the Dems and blame this and blame that and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Um, yeah, so this is the announcement that the government will shut down as well, unfortunately. Now, if I look into the base of the deck, I've got a bit more. And like I say, I like the base of the deck because it kind, for me at least, it gives me a bit of background information, you know. But literally, they're trying to walk away and escape justice because this has really, really, really hurt a lot of people. And there are a lot of victims and survivors in these Epstein files. There's been a lot of damage done, and they're just trying to do anything that they can to block this, to stop, you know, to stop the heartache from coming up. But it's not that they don't care about the people that have got the that have been hurt. They're more concerned that this is going to happen, right? They're more concerned that with the Ace of Cups that there's going to be overflowing of emotion and overflowing of, you know, this is actually going to lead. If this stuff comes out, it's just going to be the beginning. You know, aces are beginnings at the beginning of the each suit, you know, they're new beginnings. And this will be a new beginning of information coming out about Epstein. If this information comes out, this is just the beginning. It's just there's going to be so much more. This is just the start of it. And so they're trying to suspend everything. You know, oh, we'll shut the government, don't have the vote. You know, hey, you know what we should do? Let's not swear in. What was her name again? Adelita Ravala. Let's not do that. Let's ask for the official results. Even though it was a landslide, Mr. Mikey Johnson. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Um, because you know what? We just have to delay while the government trying to get some kind of balance as to what's going on. How can we balance this out? I know what we should do. We don't know actually how to temper this. We can't temper this. All we can do right now is delay it. Delay. Because they don't really want to hear any more information about Epstein, about these files, about anything to do with the victims and the survivors. No, none of that rubbish. Because once again, here we go, Two of Cups, wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. This is the GOP, yeah, wheeling and dealing and making their pacts with each other, and we're not going to vote, and we're going to make sure that we close the government down, and we're going to blame the Dems and everything else, because we know this will be curtains for us with the world. Endings are beginnings. It's almost like I'm getting the impression that once this stuff comes out, it literally will be, you know, it will be the end of the cycle for the GOP or the beginning of the end of the cycle with the world card. Oh, sorry, I should have covered you up there, world card. I'm sorry about that. I keep forgetting that. Such a beautiful deck, and I can't. It's the Wiser Tarot. It's just a lovely deck, and I can't bring myself to draw on it. I can't bring myself to graffiti on it. But no, they are absolutely petrified of these files coming out. So I do believe, and just my opinion, YouTube and allegedly and entertainment only, um, yeah, This whole shutdown thing has got nothing to do with shutting the government down. It's about delay, 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 the Epstein vote. And like I said, this is not even to release the files. This is just to, um, have a vote if they should. I mean, we haven't even gotten that far yet. So anyway, yeah. So let's go a deep. Let's keep going, guys. I want to ask. So the orange orangutan has been threatening that there will be would you say mass sackings, mass irreversible firings. So usually, from my understanding of this, what normally happens is that the government will shut down, people's jobs are suspended, the government kind of, they get their funding or whatever they do, they make their deals and everything comes back and people are reinstated to their jobs. But this is different. This is the Orange Menace saying that no, there's going to be mass irreversible firings. Well, didn't that already happen with Mr. Musk when people already fired and rehired and does the Yeti want to fire them again? Does he? Is that it? Like, is he trying to save money? But I just think he's gone a bit mad. I actually think, um, and I better just say this once again, YouTube entertainment only. I think he's just gone a bit crackers. I think he's just yeah, I actually think he's drunk with power and he's just come back from the royal family and he just, he's done the carriage and he's seen all the pomp in the British thing with the royal family and he thinks he's a king and so anyway, let's keep going. Some spirit. Will there be mass firings in the US government? Will there be mass firings? So I mean, will there be spirit mass firings? Will there be mass firings? All right, guys, come on down. Okay, Two of Cups is the card for the day. King of Cups, King of Wands, Four of. Okay, let's have a look-see, guys. Come on up. This is, my card for the day, the Two of Cups. This is all part of the agreements that they're talking about. This is all part of the failed decision to close the government. It's all part of the same thing, and I dare say it's been directed from a certain orange person. This is the whole thing. This is all part of it. Yeah, we're gonna part of the deal is we're gonna get rid of people. Thank you, Sir Führer, Orange Führer. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. But if I go underneath, I've got the King of Cups and I've got the King of Wands. So a lot of emotion behind this and a lot of fire energy behind this. I would say this is the Republicans, the Republicans with their fiery energy and burn and brimstone and fire and all that kind of stuff. This is the Dems saying, "Hey, hey, think about these people that you're going to hurt. Like, have some decency and some emotion about it, or at least some empathy about it." And so what's happening is when you get fire and you get water, if you mix them together, you get a whole lot of fire energy and you get some steam. They are bickering. It's as we would say in Australia, um, it's just one big shit fight. That's what's going on behind the scenes. There's just a lot of bickering going on and people just yelling and fighting and arguing and stuff like that. And if you think about the Five of Wands, right? No one's winning. I mean, this card can also mean competition, but they're just stuck in this cycle, driven by the fire energy and the water energy. It's like they're stuck in this. They're stuck in this motion right now. So I do think that this is the Four of Pentacles. I do think that there will be some people that will be laid off. I don't think it's going to be mass people that are going to be laid off. I'm hoping I'm right. I really wish I was wrong. I wish I could say, hey, no one's going to get laid off, no one's going to get sacked or fired. As you say in the States, we say sacked in Australia. It means the same thing. Um, there will be people that will be let go of, but oh, once it's all done, yeah, hi. Um, hey, would you like to have your old job back? Would you like to come and work for us? We heard good things about you. Would you like to start working again? No. I wonder. No. Just, they reap what they sow because of this tower moment. So it's just horrible energy. Horrible, horrible energy. All right, guys, let's keep going. So, like I said before, the oversight committee, which is has I think it was Epstein's brother that has released more files, and there's allegedly a few names on the list. I think allegedly YouTube. I think Steve Bannon was there. I could be wrong. I think Steve Bannon was there, but just allegedly YouTube. No accusations, just allegedly. But I do know that Elon Musk popped up in the files, and obviously Trump is in there somewhere. And also Prince Andrew. Now, I generally don't read on royals. I'm just not a big fan of the royal family. Even though my grandmother was English, it's just not my thing. However, I respect everybody's right to get into the royal family. I fully respect all of that. It's just not my jam. It's just not my thing. But anyway, for reasons which I won't go into right now. But anyway, Prince Andrew, were you involved with this? Okay, let's have a look. Prince Andrew, were you involved with this mess? Prince Andrew, what do the cards say? Entertainment only YouTube. Prince Andrew, were you involved with these Epstein files? Prince Andrew, were you involved with the Epstein files? Prince, sorry guys, Andrew, were you involved with the Epstein files? All right, guys, come on down. Okay, Prince Andrew, Star, Judgment, Knight of Swords, the Magician, the Hanged One. Wow. Big cards, guys. I pulled 5 cards. I got 4 majors. Big cards. Oh, let me just have a look at this, eh? Once again, YouTube, entertainment only, yeah? Entertainment only. Um, Prince Andrew, I'm just going to cover you up here. I actually do think, with the star card, not having studied him at all or whatever, but I do think that he's quite narcissistic. I've heard stories, allegedly YouTube, about some of his demands, like like the stuffed toys on his bed and blah blah blah. Um, And he's come from that place of being privileged. I mean, and Mummy bailed him out before, but Mummy isn't around anymore. So yeah, that he's quite narcissistic, and it's almost like I'm almost getting the impression that it's like he kind of thinks it's his birthright to get to be able to do what he wants to do and to get away with what he gets away with. It's like it's almost like other people don't factor into his response with other people when he deals with other people. It's all about him. I think he's so caught up in his own stuff. And once again, YouTube entertainment only. I'm not saying anything, just a tarot reader, yeah. But you know what? There is judgment waiting for him. I'm just covering up the people behind here. There is judgment coming for the narcissist with the star card. So he's just done everything to manipulate the situation, to pull all his resources together. And I dare say he's trying to do that again now with all this stuff looming. And he's just gonna, he might be start firing off comments and it wasn't me and I've done nothing and I'm pure and, you know, I've already been exonerated. I've paid, the money or whatever it is. But no, this will metaphorically hang him. He's in the thick of it, according to this. Big cards, big cards. And there was that picture, was it with Guthrie that he was with? And then, she ended up suiciding. So yeah. Um, I'm just gonna see, I'm just gonna go there and just have a look at the Yeti's involvement with this. Just have a quick look at a snapshot. So, Trump, what were you doing in regards to all of this as well? Let's do this, guys. Are you in the Epstein files? Donald Trump, spirit. Is he in the Epstein files? Donald Trump. Is he in the Epstein files? Oof. Is he? Trump. Is he in the Epstein files, spirit? Trump. Is he in the Epstein? All right, guys, come on down. All right. Oof. There he is, government. Okay. Stinky fish. Temperance. Hanged one. Okay. Coming up, guys. It's interesting, like if you ever doing readings right for yourself or whatever, and you get recurring cards, like that's significant, you know. Always pay attention to that. If you find that you're asking, like I said, you might be doing readings about something and you might do a different angle or you might try it from a different approach. If you start getting the same cards, it's significant. So yeah. And I've got a couple of the same cards here. So anyway, well, one in particular, yeah, and mages as well. So yeah. So the Yeti, and once again, YouTube entertainment only. There he is, government, the Yeti. Um, Sending out messages to delay, delay, delay. He's in the White House there, looking out. You're planning, just make sure that you delay this. Make sure you delay this. Stinky fish. It's his messages just reek of stench. And he's trying to find a way to balance this out. And the only way that he can work out to balance this out or to at least to get some kind of a grip on what's going on is to delay it again. And this is what I mean. The hangman keeps coming up. Just delay it, delay, delay. Because he knows Now, if I look at this a bit further with the Lover's card, the connections and the dealings that he had with people, and I dare say the activities that he did will metaphorically hang him or could legally hang him. That's what he's afraid of. And the only way that he can get some balance on this to work out what he's going to do is to delay, make sure we shut the government down, make sure we delay that vote, do not on any situations, just delay everything, delay getting Adelita Revolver in, anything but Epstein. So it's just one big mess, folks, and yeah. So what's going to be? I know I've read about quite a few different things today that are related. Um, with these Epstein files, from looking at it from the victims or the survivors, that's one of the people that one of the subscribers, I've forgotten who it was, but she's made a good comment to me because I spoke about Epstein before and I kind of spoke about the victims, and she said, well, no, actually they're survivors. And that was a really good comment. So I think I know who it was that said it, but I don't want to say in case I get it wrong. Um, because at the end of the day, I mean, there is all this political rhetoric going on and up and down and even in the readings today, but this is actually about people, that were exploited and hurt, and God knows the psychological and emotional damage that they felt, and maybe even physical damage if you think about, without getting too gross, but if you think about the how do I say this delicately, you know, people that are young are generally smaller. So that's all I'm going to say, because otherwise I'll start to hurl. Um, but I just want to look at, just to push all this aside, and where's my bell? Just to push all this aside, clear some energy, and I just want to look at, with all this stuff going on right now, what will be the final outcome for these allegedly victims, survivors of the Epstein files, from their perspective? What will be the outcome for them, Spirit? Okay, let's go. So what will be the outcome for these Epstein survivors? What, Spirit, will be the outcome for these Epstein survivors? What will be the outcome of these Epstein survivors? What will be the outcome of these Epstein survivors, Spirit? Okay, let's go. Come on down, guys. The Hanged One. Good. Okay. Let's have a look, guys. Come on up. I am so relieved that the sun card turned up in that. I am so relieved. Oh, it's frozen for a second. I'm back. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so once again, now I shuffled, right? I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled. Um, Sorry about that. That's just my phone. Um, I think, okay, I think right now everything's going to be looked at, and we're not going to be making much progress with justice for them straight away. I think, okay, I think with the Sun card, this was what the truth of the matter will come out. That's where we're heading, but there's just going to be a process. They're just going to have to weigh up all the evidence, and there'll be some delays, and there'll be probably court challenges, and this and that, and the other, and um, just leaving these victims hanging there, because once again, there's just so much. There's so much dark energy here and so much murkiness. And like I said before, when these files get released, remember when I did the reading, I got the Ace of Cups. It's just the beginning. It's just gonna be like a fountain of just ugh, right? There's a lot of dark energy here, right? A lot of dark energy, a lot of murkiness, and talk about draining the swamp. And it could even be that there's going to be so much stuff here that they're going to have to dig up that it will just take them time to do it as people come forward and everything else. Um, there's been a lot of emotional damage to people as well, possibly with the act of threesomes, if I can be so gross and graphic. Three people involved. That's all I'll say. But it's all quite sordid and a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage has been done here, and um, people have been really mentally wounded with this, as you could imagine, with all this murkiness coming up here. But after all that's done, the truth will be exposed. The truth will come out into the light. And I think when the truth comes out, I mean, obviously that's a good thing, but I'm also kind of thinking about the like the trauma that these people are going to have to relive, you know what I mean? When everything comes out, they're going to, there's because they're going to be reliving all this trauma of what happened to them. But the sun will shine over the moon because if you think about it, the moon is like it's a lunar eclipse, right? The sun's there. This moon will fade, and the light of what's going on will prevail and expose everything. In a way, you could say that the sun's going to dry up this swamp, dry up this murkiness. The 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 light will be too much for this to bear. But right now, people are feeling trapped and they're kind of, I mean, I think I think these victims have obviously had so much trauma, they're feeling helpless right now. And in as much as, you could say that they can take the blindfold off and take away the ropes that are around them and move forward, but they're so caught in this energy right now. They feel that they're surrounded. And I think part of the healing from these victims is to know that there will be a way forward out of this mess. And I think when the sun comes up and everything is released and they feel like metaphorically speaking, like the warmth of the day and to know that this dark time is over, once they feel in a safe space, that's when I think they're going to be able to take the blindfold off and take away the ropes. But it's going to be a process. Um, Yeah, and once again with the King of Wands, there's just a lot of fire energy behind this as well, um, on both sides. And and I did before when I've read about this before, I got the King of Wands and I got the King of Cups and the steam with the Five of Wands in the middle, the argy bargy. But there's a lot of passion on both sides, to release it, not to release it, and coming from two different angles. But I do think with this is minor arcana, yeah. But I do think that Light of the Day that and the Sun is one of the most positive cards in the tarot, right? It's major arcana. It's positive. It's a positive card. Just covering up that baby there. A young person as well, right? Without getting into the graphics of it. Um, yeah, I do think eventually there will be healing for these people and they deserve it and they deserve to have their truth told. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to do a reading for us. Okay, we're going to get rid of all that yuck. We're going to do a reading for us. Okay, hold on, guys. We're almost done. Okay, folks, it's going to change decks here. All right, reading for us. that was some heavy stuff we covered there, and I do apologize. Um, like I always say, and I'm not I'm not living directly under the umbrella of this, and and not to mention, Gaza and Ukraine and all these other places, and I'm moving again with the camera here. Um, there's just so much going on, and it's really hard to keep on top of everything because it's just the energy and the momentum, and it's just like that Eight of Wands is just like coming and coming and coming. So um yeah. Anyway, so just change decks here, and you know message for us. I always think it's really important to when if I'm doing any readings, like it's important to try and leave everything on a positive note. Like I don't want to leave you guys in despair. Um, I keep saying this, and I do think that, I mean, this will pass, right? This will pass. Um, and I've spoken about that before. I'm just going to see what the cards say, um, and then we'll go a bit further from there. So, disregarding all that, it's cleaning the energy. Okay, Spirit. Message for us, Spirit. Message for the collective. I really like this deck, by the way. Okay. Message for the collective. Message. We're moving away from everything else that we've just been talking about and reading on spirit. Just pushing all that aside. What have you got for us, spirit? What would you like us to know right now? Coming in with love and light for the collective. What spirit would you message for the collective? For the collective spirit. Message for the collective. Okay, come on down, guys. Let's see how we go. Okay. Message for the collective spirit. Okay. Nice. Yep. Okay. Nice. Okay. Coming up, guys. Let's do this. Okay, folks. So, message for us. Yeah. Message for the collective. So the Chevalier of Discs, which is the Knight of Pentacles in this deck. Slow and steady. We just need to pace ourselves, guys. Pace ourselves, slow and steady. And I've got 2 pages around this, but I'll get to that. Um, Slow and steady, but just know that no matter who you are, what your situation is, you have something to give and there is goodness in you. We all have that little nugget of gold, you know what I mean? And just slow and steady, guys. Just pace yourselves or pace ourselves or speak to me as well. Um, Slow and steady, and try to remain as grounded as you can in the midst of all this insanity. And, you know, maybe even stop for a while, like even switch off the TV and switch off the news if you need to. Just like it's almost like hold on to yourself. Um, if you can, just provide comfort for somebody else and just give messages, like just try and stay as grounded as you can and help someone else to stay grounded. Um, if you're in a position where you can help people financially, do that. if you can. If you can't, that's okay. But you might want to offer someone some help. Listen, I can't give you any money, but hey, would you like me to mow your lawn? Or, you know, the stuff that Lena's been talking about, it's just I'm getting that vibe. When Lena speaks about, just do what you can, but barter and help each other, but try and stay as grounded as you can in these times, okay? Um, Grounded and, just, yeah, ground yourself and know that the wheel is turning. This rubbish that we're going through now is not forever. Things move in karmic cycles. And there is motion, and even though we might think that the wheel isn't turning, or we might think, oh my God, the wheel's just turning slowly, whatever, but the wheel is turning. And what is going on now is not sustainable forever. There are these karmic cycles in play. And even though sometimes I don't see it or I can't feel it or whatever, it's a reminder to me to know that, the universe is aware and spirit's aware of what's going on. But just know that there are karmic cycles and the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning. And even in a way, let that be what grounds you. Let that be what grounds you to know that the wheel is turning. Because around us, this is what, so focus on that, right? Sorry, guys, focus on that because around us is this. A lot of fire and a lot of hot air around us. A lot of argy-bargy. There's a lot of energy around us that's always going to be there. Well, not that it's always going to be there. It's going to be there currently as this wheel is turning, right? So be aware that it's out there. Be aware of all the rubbish that you're hearing on social media and the what's going on. Just be aware of it's almost like, beware of the fire and the air. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of hot energy, a lot of turbulence around us. It's almost like I don't know if you've ever been through a bushfire or seen a bushfire, but we had them in Australia. But the heat, well, actually in Canada, of course, yes, in the LA, Los Angeles, and California. Apologies, fires, right? But the heat and the velocity of that going around the fire, right? It's almost like there's all this fire and all this hot air. And that's kind of the environment that I think we're in right now. So know that's there. And sometimes it's almost like we need to, like, metaphorically speaking, like close the front door, and just try and stay focused and know, in spite of this, in spite of this, that the wheel is turning. Let that be what grounds you. And like I said, if you can do something to help somebody else, whether it's financial or you might have a gift for them or you can offer a service to them, do that. And the last card is a really nice card. It's the Magician, right? And as a collective, we all can contribute. We've all got something to give. And just to use your resources wisely, folks, like, just know that within you, you've got the strength within you. And as a community, we come together and we share our gifts and we help each other out. Maybe even, maybe we need to do some manifesting as well. I don't know. Just thought of that then. Maybe some spiritual manifesting, um, but we can do magic, good magic from a spiritual point of view. But yeah, just use your resources to help other people, guys. And I'm saying this to myself as well. Um, but just know that you've got so much in you to give and to receive. You're to know that you do have power, that we do have power in spite of all this rubbish going on, remain strong in your strength. It remain strong in your own power, guys, and know that the wheel will turn and it's turning. And even if that's it, let that be the source of your power. To know that things are churning. There is a process going on of change. There are karmic cycles in play right now, as there always will be and there always was. As horrible as it seems right now, it's not forever. The wheel is turning. Try and understand that and try and look at that and not the hot air and the fire around us. And let that be the source of your power with the magician. That's what I got, guys. So anyway, I hope that resonates. I know this has been quite a long video. I do apologize for the delay, but I wanted to get this out today. I've got to go to the shops and get some food. Um, so I love you very much, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll have beasts hopefully in a few weeks' time. We can go on that journey together. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. Take care, guys, and just be kind to yourselves, okay? Be kind, and I'll try and be back soon, okay? Love you. Bye bye. Thanks for listening. Okay, bye for now. Bye. And bye bye.